Hey everybody, welcome to the nightly video. We're going to talk about what happened today and then what's setting up for tomorrow with the high VIX that we still got. VIX sitting around 27 currently. So if we go to the SPY, we did see some 2-2s to the upside this morning for a very nice rally. So notice it went 2260 in the morning. Where's that going? To the upside. Takes out yesterday's highs. They did go 2 up in red, but never reversed, going inside 30s up, grinding it up into the highs. And then why does this come in here? Well, the first reason is, well, you can see continuity. The 60 and monthly gain control. Therefore, 60 monthly sellers come and sell in here, right? Against the day and the week. So we'd say this is conflicted, where the immediate controls to the 60 and monthly sellers countering the daily and weekly group. So we had a very nice buy in the morning. And then where does that occur is the other question. Well, you're going to notice right at last week's lows. So they attempted to reclaim last week's lows, which is what we were looking for. 2-2 and then a reclaim last week's lows, try and get back into that try. But they were not strong enough buyers to do that. You'll notice nowhere near taking out any of these guys. So 3 and then 260 at the close for a nice puker for those 0 DTE guys. And you can see they go 3, 1, 2, 15er to trigger that 60. There's also the 3, 2, 2 on the 30, which went 2 down, slight hammer, and then 2 down again with that 15. So very important to understand that when the SPY is jumping around $12 a day, you're going to trade both ways intraday, and that's super important to know. That being said, though, this may change what we know to be true tomorrow. If we were to become a 2-2 day below 517.85, we'd have magnitude to go back into full time from continuity, maybe trying to get that outside quarter. So we want to know below that if SPY changes what we know to be true. If we go to the Qs, you're going to see a similar story there. And when the VIX is high like this, most things look very similar. So slight shooter here. Still very green on the week on both of those at this point. Month is still in force there. Dow Jones, same thing, last week's lows, and then profit taking. So you can see slight shooter there as well. And you'll notice that RevStrat month could go back and forth with that shooter day, similar to this shooter day up here. This is another shooter we'll want to know about. IWM, also slight shooter here. We'll just have to see. Do they become 2-2s tomorrow or not? These weeklies are still pretty green, so we're still in conflict. But if we have a 2 down on the day, then the day will confirm the month, and the 60 will be confirming that. So we'll have 3 of the 4 time frames to try and counter that weekly group. And we know the monthly group's way more aggressive than the weekly group, just based on continuity. You can see 3% up on the week versus, down 9% on the month, right? So monthly sellers more aggressive. So they would win that battle if we get the 2-2. We'll have to see, though. That being said, though, the weaker things will be inside bars, so we'll want to go after those. And if things are going to keep going up tomorrow with reconfirming 2s, all those inside bars are going to be what break higher to reconfirm that. So that being said, I've got a few that I've picked out. You're going to see Visa, and this is something we talked about on the intraday vid. Visa goes inside day, so we'll keep an eye on that. Has an inside week down, which would still have magnitude. Still an inside month there, but has the inside quarter down. So you might have the quarter, week, and day signals all at once. Potentially below that, 255.58. And if they recover, you get RevStrat above this, 260.50 or 260.5. And that wouldn't be far from reclaiming the quarter. So we'll play that both ways. MasterCard, you're going to have a similar story going on here. Still an inside week there, though, but it does move with the Visa. So we'll keep an eye on that. And you can see you get the PMG through these guys, should things try and resolve lower in these guys, like so. You got a lot of pivots to go after there in MasterCard. If we go to AMD in the chips, it will be gapping down slightly, but 131 setting up for tomorrow, which could get that RevStrat quarter puking further, and the quarterly broadening formation goes down there like a lot of other chip stocks. It tells you can look at things like MU as well inside day. So if you got the short on the week up in here, they've obviously had a few different daily signals to try and get more short. 3-2 in here or the 2-2 in here, and now an inside day. So we'll see. Still very in force on the quarterly magnitude down there. You also have ON, a 3-1 on the day with AMD. This could trigger the 2-2 week in force, which could cause a potential outside quarter. And this would cause the 3-2-2 month to go back in force below 8 or 678 or 6678. So you can see anyone that's been sitting in here saying, oh, this is support, right? So we might trigger those guys with that inside day, 3-1. You'll also have some stuff in the industrials, 3-1. So Lockheed Martin, 3-1 day, full time for continuity down at the top of the broadening formation if they're going to bring her back in. And this is coming off all-time highs. Get a GNRC, a 3-1 day as well, just like everything else, at 3-1, which could cause a monthly rev strat, which could also cause a 3-2 expansion to the downside on the week. So what I've got is I've got all these loaded up. We will also then have, oh, looks like something got messed up on my charts here. I'll fix that later. But we'll also have things Pepsi potentially. So if we see Staples still coming back in, this could go 3-3 on the month, 3 to the upside and then 2 up and red back in. So you'd have Momo shoot day, 3, 2 down, 2 down tomorrow to cause an outside week reversal and then maybe get a 3-3 month going. Mainly, I'm more interested in this because we got some nice pivots here and Pepsi has pretty solid options, spreads and whatnot there with good volatility. You'll also have some things, and this is going to be sector-wide, so everything's going to look similar. But materials, maybe an outside month, and they did 2-2 this morning, but came back in with the rest, so shooter on the day. You'll have things like NUE, shooter day to confirm a 3-2 down week, to confirm an inside month down, which also confirms a yearly signal down. Rev strat on the year, so NUE day with the week, with the month, with the year all at once. If you go on the quarter, it's also a 3-2 quarter, so everything looks really good there if that daily signal works. That's in the materials. And we did talk about industrial stuff with the GNRC and whatnot. You'll see the slight shooter there, just looks similar to the Dow Jones. So we'll see if we get those signals back down tomorrow. If we don't, we did see some pretty solid buying in the financials today. So potentially, if things are strong, we might see them come and go after those again. But when it comes to what is full-time firm continuity, there's just kind of lacking. We did talk about a few of those things on the intraday video that we put out. So we can take a look here and you can see, so just full-time firm continuity bullish. And we can see day 2 to the upside. What were they buying today? So you can see they got about 40 things. It's a lot of real estates in there. And they did close relatively stronger in the real estates. And outside of that, it's kind of hit or miss. You got a few healthcares. There's a few communication services like Dash. So there's a few things going up, but not like a vast majority. Whereas now if we go down bearish continuity, we're also not going to have too much there yet. But what could occur is with all these shooter days or 2 up and red days, this continuity list could get way bigger, right? If everything negates their weeks from green to red. Since most things, if you look on the week, they're still opening as 2 downs. So you can see 368 2 downs on the week. When we look at the day today, a lot of those things tried to recover on Tuesday, right? Which is something we were looking for, 2 up on the day. So you can see pretty much every single one of those went 2 up on the day today. The ones that didn't are going to be the weak ones with the inside bars. But all of these could flip right back into continuity down if those dailies were to reverse. And this is why it's so important to understand the continuity principle, where if SPY's going up in here, the weekday and 60 are in control. But if that 60 changes, now the 60 and month are in control. And it's completely conflicted. So if this changes tomorrow, the day, month, and 60 groups completely take over. And the weekly group, we don't have any evidence below this. So we just want to be very aware of that. Obviously, with the volatility, we're willing to play both ways. There's going to be some good gappers and stuff tomorrow as well. Let me hit those up for you guys. And Elaine posted them in the premium chat for us today. So we'll take a look. So you got SMCI. And I will get the extended hours on just so we can take a look and see what's all happening there. So you can see SMCI, nice big 3 on the earnings, then 2 expansion, and they're still trying to sell it off from the looks of it. So that will be a gapper to the downside tomorrow, and it's got the quarter enforced. This is the bubble to pop here. So you can see quarter down, triggered by last month's rev strat, confirmed by this month's 2 down. So the bubble is popping there. Airbnb, also big down gapper. You can see 130 to like 100. Just a little over that. If you go on the quarter, this one's also quartering down. Rev strat year Airbnb would take you down here. And there is like this really big push against Airbnb. I saw some news about it in Michigan and other places. They're trying to get rid of those Airbnbs. So they could have some pretty bad times, right? And that puts you back down to 81. Upstart. Rob would call this one Upstart. Imagine it went up and then puked. Oh no, they actually stayed up. So consumer finance, Upstart, going to be a gapper to the upside tomorrow. Let's say the whole market's gapping down and this one's gapping up. This is where we want to be right away, because that tells us of more natural buying while the market's going down. That being said, though, that is going to be about all I've got for you guys tonight. And if you're looking for a list, it's going to be, gosh, what is going on here? It's going to be AMD, ON, then you're going to have Visa, MasterCard, you're going to have Lockheed Martin, GNRC, and then maybe Pepsi if you want to throw that one on there, and then NUE if you want to throw that on there in the materials. So that'll be it. The other big ones, you'll have things like Apple if you're willing to trade the inside day there. You'll have things like Tesla going inside day as well. And then let me just make sure. Yeah, so Apple and Tesla are going to be the big names that are going inside, and all the other big seven names, Microsoft, slight shooters, etc. But I'm trying to pick out the ones where I think we could get some more outsized moves. So that being said, I'll see you guys bright and early in the morning. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night.